Chelsea. They have yet again lost another game. And it's getting beyond ridiculous for Chelsea now because they scored a goal last night, but they should have won the game. They had about 7-8 chances in the first half. Conor Gallagher should have scored. Kai Havertz, Mykhailo Mudryk. They just can't seem to score. And that is the problem at Chelsea. Should Frank Lampard quit managing? Is this not what he should do? Should he go as a pundit? Should he be like an under-21 coach? I mean, that is the same as a manager, but he's just not really fit for managing. There's a lot of problems in this team, though. It's not just Frank Lampard. We can't just blame Frank Lampard. There's Todd Boehly. He hasn't made the right decisions. There's the players as well. Marc Cucurella has barely touched the ball in this whole season. Has barely touched the ball because he hasn't played. Really hasn't played. He missed one of Chelsea's most vital chances in this Premier League season against Real Madrid in the round of, I think it was the quarterfinals. Quarterfinals, yeah. They lost in the quarterfinals, and he missed one of their most vital chances of the whole game. It was one-on-one with the keeper. He was going to score and fluff the ball. Did not score and, scuffed the ball, and it was not a goal. He had all the time in the world and still didn't score. He's just a waste of time, isn't he? He's just a waste of time. And we could say this about a lot of these players. Mudryk. Enzo Fernandez is the only actual player that's probably good in this team. Kai Havertz. When he first joined the club, he wasn't bad. He scored the winning goal in the Champions League final to win Chelsea the Champions League. But now, he's just not a good footballer. Half of these players, I would not swap for. I would not swap this whole team for any player in the Premier League. I would not swap this whole team. If Todd Boehly went to Jurgen Klopp, do you want one of our players? I would hope that he would say no, because if any of those players play for Liverpool, we'd be done. We'd be done, because those players are not good enough to play in the Premier League. Noni Madueke hardly played a game. Might come into his own next season, but he is a really bad footballer. Not really bad footballer, but he's a bad footballer. Hasn't played a game really this season. Scored one goal. I mean, that's more than any other player in this team has done. Mykhailo Mudryk. He looked alright in his first couple of games. Spends 2 weeks with Graham Potter. Goes crap. I don't know what it is. Marc Cucurella joins the club. Brighton's Player of the Year in the previous season. Joins Chelsea. Barely touches the ball all season. Mykhailo Mudryk, brilliant at Shakhtar. Comes to Chelsea. Becomes a flop. Even Mason Mount has barely got any game time this season. And there's a lot of people we could blame. The board. The owner. The board is the owner, basically. Owner, Todd Boehly, he has not made some very good decisions this season. He has not made good decisions at all. Maybe buying Enzo Fernandez was one of his best decisions all season. That's probably the only good decision he's made at that club. They could easily have signed some good players with that money. They could have signed Mbappe. They could have signed Jude Bellingham. But no, they're going to sign Malo Gusto. They're going to sign Mykhailo Mudryk, Noni Madueke, David Datro Fofana. Badashile. Not that I'm saying that Badashile is good. Badashile is alright. But just buy some good players. Why? Just why? Mayo Gusto, why? Why would you sign him? What? You don't even know if he's good. I mean, unless you've analysed him really well, you don't know if he's good. He might be really bad. But, yeah, he did sign for Chelsea. I think he plays next season. But you don't know if he's good. So, I mean, they didn't know. I mean, Chelsea thought they'd done one over Arsenal by signing Mudryk. That was not the case. That was not the case. I think Mudryk would have been better at Arsenal. Like, this Chelsea team isn't good enough for the Premier League. They could finish 14th by the end of the season, and that's might what happen, because they are now 12th. 12th. Chelsea are 12th. 2 years ago, they'd won the Champions League, the Super Cup, the FIFA Club World Cup, and could have won the Premier League. This season, last season, did alright. We're in 2 finals that they lost. More than this season. This season, they've been knocked out of all cup competitions. They've not managed to get a top. Not managed to get a top 4 place. Forget top 4. They've not even managed to get a top 10 place. They're in 12th, and could be 14th by the end of the season. I can't believe I'm saying those words. Could be 14th by the end of the season. It's not something that you ever think's going to come out of your mouth about Chelsea. Because they're just not this team. Last season, they were quite good. There's been talk about Romelu Lukaku needs to sign back for Chelsea. I don't think that would do any better. I think having Lukaku in the team would be worse. Although, he's done more than any other Chelsea player has done this season. Reached the Champions League final. So maybe having him back at the club will do Chelsea the world of good. Because right now, their players just aren't good enough for the Premier League. If Todd Bowley actually knew, like, the rules of football and, like, how much money you can spend, he'd be quite a good owner. But he said when you've lost about 3-4 games in a row, he said that they would beat Real Madrid 3-0 in the Champions League. Sorry, Real Madrid have literally just won. Well, not literally, but they've just won the Champions League. 14 times winners, and you think you're going to win 3-0. You lost 4-0 on aggregate. I know that was a while ago, but this is how much sense Todd Bowley makes. None. I mean, he's not the only person to blame. There's also Lampard. But can we blame Potter for this mess? I think Lampard's done more mess than Potter has. Because Potter, honestly, before he'd been to Chelsea, he was at Brighton. So he probably didn't know how to manage a club like Chelsea. Because of how good, Chelsea were. Thomas Tuchel was sacked, then Potter took the job. And it probably wasn't his sort of style, because he managed to sign a few players. He signed Enzo Fernandez, Callum Mudryk, who's done nothing. He signed some good players. He signed João Felix, who, if he signs on a permanent deal, will be good for Chelsea. But he is also to blame. Graham Potter is also to blame. Because he left Chelsea in this mess. He was sacked and left Chelsea in this mess. So, Lampard is to blame because, he's done more than Graham Potter did. Graham Potter won about 2 games at Chelsea. Lampard's won... Oh yeah, that's correct. 1. So, Graham Potter has done more. Graham Potter actually got Chelsea into the quarter-finals of the Champions League. I'm not saying that Graham Potter isn't to blame for any of this, but he's done more at Chelsea than Lampard's done. He's had 2 seasons, 2 separate seasons. Well, 3 seasons in his last job at Chelsea. And this season is atrocious from Lampard. Yeah, he's not fit to manage a football club. Not fit to manage a football club. He wasn't fit to manage at Everton, wasn't fit to manage at Chelsea. And he will go down as one of the worst managers in Chelsea's history and also Premier League history and also football history. Graham Potter did more than Frank Lampard did in the whole 6 months he was there. I mean, Lampard's not really had any time because he only had about 6-7 weeks. But he's lost nearly every game he's been at the club. He drew 2-2 to Nottingham Forest. How you do that, I'm not sure. Won 3-1 to Bournemouth, alright. Maybe we can take something from that. No, they've just lost again to Man United 4-1. They missed about 4 or 5 chances in the first half. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, if you enjoyed that video, you know what to do, which means like, subscribe, and turn post notifications on. I can't speak. Yeah, see you in the next video. Peace out.